Hi, folks. Welcome to The Way I See It, which is my podcast on all things money, the economy, and finance. So, last year, I tried to buy a PlayStation 5 for my kids. It was hell. So, I'm not exactly a gamer, but I'm a cool dad. So, I was like, I'm going to get them this hot new PlayStation 5 on Black Friday, and they're going to like just love me and all that. My shock was I went to Amazon.com and I could not find the PlayStation 5. Not only could I not find it, Amazon basically said we cannot guarantee when this item would be on stock. So I went to Best Buy, I went to Jumia, I went everywhere. I could not get a PlayStation 5. What was happening? Well, last year was COVID, and COVID stopped all economic activity, right? So even the smart chip companies shut down as well. The smart chip companies are mostly based out of Taiwan. They also shut down. And then when they shut down, you basically had this backlog of orders that could not be filled. So when the economy sort of reopened, you then had demand that simply could not be met by the supply of smart chips. And the PlayStation 5 uses this smart chips just like cars, planes, phones, all that kind of stuff. So there was like a big, huge demand that couldn't be filled. Hence, PlayStation 5, cars, all that kind of stuff were in very, very limited supply. That was what I was seeing. So if you go online, the PlayStation 5 retails officially for 499 US dollars. That's the manufacturer's recommended selling price, right? $499. But you can't get it anywhere. You cannot. But if you go to the black market, if you go online, there are certain sites you would go to and it's available. You can get it for 1,005, 1,001 US, and it's available. So what's going on here is really simple. Whenever there is demand and supply cannot meet that demand, prices will go up. It's a basic law in economics. Everyone knows that demand and supply dictates prices. Whenever you have a fixed price and demand exceeds supply, prices go up. Because Sony has a quote unquote manufacturer's recommended price, and even the stores have a manufacturer's price, as long as supply cannot meet demand, they're going to have a black market because all I can do is just to go buy a PlayStation 5 and then sell it on the web and make a good profit. That's an easy thing to understand with PlayStation. What about with currencies? That's almost the same thing. You know, I watched, was it last month, when the Central Bank of Nigeria governor, accused a private company that runs a website, Aboki FX, of basically running an illegal operation, and that website was influencing the exchange rate of the currency of the largest economy in Africa. So that's what I watched, and I couldn't believe it. Just to give you some background, in Nigeria, the official exchange rate is called the NAFEX rate. NAFEX is the Nigerian Autonomous Foreign Exchange Rate. So this rate is not determined by the Central Bank of Nigeria, but it's determined by a company called the FMDQ. So the marketers, the market dealers determine the exchange rate of the Nigerian currency, right? And they're on the market. So what happens is that the CBN buys and sells US dollars to that market. So, like any other central bank, if it wants to if it wants to induce the exchange rate of a currency, it can buy, i.e., it can reduce supply, or it can sell, i.e., increase supply of dollars to that market. If it increases supply of the US dollars to that market, then the US dollar price would go down because more supply means that the price will come down. If it doesn't supply dollars to the market, then of course the price of dollars will go up because there's less supply, so the price goes up. And that's how the CBN sort of manages the exchange rate in Nigeria, by buying and selling US dollars in its foreign reserves into that market, right? It's pretty simple. And the problem now in Nigeria is this. The central bank has basically selected 44 items, and it has said these 44 items cannot get dollars from this market, the official market where the CBN trades. They cannot get dollars to basically trade. So if you were to import, say, rice, You could not go to this NAFEX market that CBN was supplying with dollars to buy dollars to import rice from, say, Thailand. You had to go somewhere else. So in effect, you couldn't get the quote unquote CBN cheaper dollars. You could have to go to the quote unquote black market to buy your dollars to import your rice. And that's where the problem is. Because just like PlayStation, whenever you have a fixed price of an item, but you have limited supply, the price is going to go up. So what happens in the parallel market? The price in the parallel market goes up because anyone that wants to sell or import rice has to go to the parallel market. It has no other choice. And because the dealers in the parallel market know that you have no choice, they can increase your price because where you're going to go, you have to buy from them. So the price in the parallel market, what we call the black market, is always going to be higher, the exchange rate now, than the price of the US dollar on the NAFEX official market. Why? Because it's simple economics. Fixed market, limited supply, the price goes up. So what happens if I have $500 and I want to sell my dollars? I could go to the same NAFEX or via my bank, and my bank would give me, say, 400 naira, right, in exchange, because that's the official rate. But if I went to the black market, the parallel market, I would get higher because those guys supply the rice dealers and all the other guys that have been banned by the Central Bank of Nigeria from bidding. So you essentially have two markets. You have the official market, and then you have the black market. The official market is supplied by CBN, and then the black market is supplied by whoever. And the point is CBN is then saying, hey, black market, you cannot quote a rate that is not the official rate because we look at the official rate as the only rate. Well, if the official rate is the only rate, then you have to supply the official rate. If you supply the official rate, then there will be no black market. The black market only exists because you are not supplying the official market, the NAFEX market, with enough dollars. Hence, everyone has got to go to the black market to supplement, especially the 44 guys that are importing goods that you have banned. This was going on. It's the same basic economics, Just like me, I had to buy my PlayStation on the quote unquote black market. I went online, found a guy, paid him more than 499 US dollars for my PlayStation 5, but I got it. PlayStation cannot police the internet. As long as PlayStation does not increase the supply of PlayStation 5, there will be a black market for PlayStation 5. What the Central Bank of Nigeria is doing today is exactly what the government of Venezuela tried to do in 2016 on that website called dollartoday.com. And that was owned, it was owned by Venezuelans. And what they simply did was to provide a benchmark exchange rate that allowed Venezuelans to price their goods back home. Of course, the government of Venezuela, they're like socialists, right? So they sued the Venezuelans in US court. It didn't work. They tried to hack them. It didn't work. The same complaint that the Central Bank of Nigeria has today. You are providing a rate that is not official. Well, the central bank's rate is official only if it can supply US dollars to the market. If you cannot supply US dollars, then there will be a black market, and people are going to go to the black market because that's going to be the market determined prices, right? So strong naira, strong currency, weak currency, it really doesn't matter. All that matters is supply. If you want to keep the naira strong, then you've got to supply dollars to the market. If you want to keep the naira weak, I'm saying it the wrong way. The point I'm making is this. It's the supply of US dollars that determines if the naira is going to be strong or weak, not banning a website and not blaming a website. We have to get serious here. If you do not want Nigerians to import, then you have to stop subsidizing importation. And how do you stop it? You stop making the naira so strong. As long as the naira is strong, Nigerians will import because they can afford it. But if you have a weaker currency, then imports become more expensive, and there will be now a shift away from expensive imports to cheaper locally produced goods. So it's not stopping the website, it's the monetary, the physical, All those things have to come together to then determine and play out a strategy. The Central Bank of Nigeria alone cannot fix fiscal, i.e. tax issues. The central bank only does monetary issues. It has to work with the Ministry of Finance, with the Trade Ministry, and together formulate a policy. Agree what the policy is. Do we want a strong naira? Do we want a weak naira? Do we want an export-led economy? What is it that we want? Once you determine what you want and there's certainty, then the businesses can plan around that, and then you can achieve what you want to achieve. Stop banning, stop chasing private individuals. Just go do your job and the economy will do well for you. Thank you so much for listening, guys. Keep putting us. The handle is still FinPlan Carlo Archer 1 on Twitter. I love you guys. Stay safe out there. Thank you.